Hey guys, if you're a fan of the Wrestling Guy podcast and you've been keeping up and following everything we've done here on the show, whether on Instagram or here on YouTube, please leave us your favorite comment down below of your favorite memory of Lord Alfred Shakes. We would like to discuss it and just remember all the good times we had.
Welcome to the Wrestling Guy Podcast. I am your co-host, Héctor El Chido Canales, with
Lord Alfred Shakes.
And our host with the most,
David the Wrestling Guy.
And today is going to be a special edition of the Wrestling Guy Podcast. Of course, we are missing our beloved member here.
Yes, so Lord Alfred Shakes. As you can tell, he's not here. We lost Lord Alfred Shakes a couple weeks ago to his battle of cancer. And so we have left his chair empty for now to start the show. I know if he was here, he would have done a little shimmy, a little shake, and we'd be arguing right now over who's the greatest WWE champion of all time, Daniel Bryan.
Well,
and
he'd say Macho Man. I'd probably say Hulk Hogan.
It was still Daniel Bryan.
And then he'd say it's Macho Man, and I'd say Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And you'd go back to
Daniel Bryan.
And he'd probably do this.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, even while he was weak, he was still able to...
Yeah, still did the little tour. Remember when we went to go visit him, first time in the hospital, I told him, Daniel Bryan's the greatest WWE champion. And he couldn't speak, because I think they had just did some testing or something. And he did the little finger twirl still to me. A couple of weeks, like a week or two before we lost him, he had a little Macho Man keychain near his bed at the hospital. He had a little Macho Man that he had received it for Christmas.
Yes.
And I still told him Daniel Bryan's still the greatest WWE champion of all time. I wouldn't let him forget it.
And right now, since you just mentioned the shimmy, so I was editing some stuff for, one of our friends. He's got a son, Robin, and he's a little boy, 5-year-old, and I had him unbox one of the toys in the store, and I thought I can make a 30-second commercial out of it.
Yeah.
What music should I use? So I went back to the archives and I pulled out the music from the intro.
Right.
And I played it, and I just, I thought about Alfred. And this Alfred was still with us at the time, but of course, towards the end, his body was deteriorating. It was breaking down, and here was Alfred on this video, and he was still full of life. And, and I saw him do the shimmy, so I thought, I'm going to go see him, and I need to pull this out and at least have him hear the music. So I went over to visit him, and it wasn't a good day for him, He was telling me how his body was hurting, and he was just telling me other stuff, and it wasn't a good day for him. And I pulled out the phone. Hey, bro, the other day I was going through this, and I found this, and I started playing the music, right? And in bed, he starts doing the shimmy, and I equipped in like, hey, I thought your body was hurting. I thought you were all in pain. It's a good beat.
That was Shakes.
Yeah.
That was Shakes. One of my favorite moments with him on the show was recording that intro, because he made me do. I think it was his idea for me to do the Nikki Bella twirl, which everybody doesn't let me live down to this day. When they see it, they always go, "Oh, you gonna do the little twirl for us?" And I'm like, "No."
I think so I met Alfred Shakes through you, Dave.
Yeah.
And at first, I just knew him as a guy who's kind of, hey, I go visit David. This guy's there a lot as well, And then little by little, we start talking.
During the Chicken McNuggets time?
No, this is before. And then for Gisara, your baby girl's baby shower,
yeah.
I got a chance to really talk to Alfred, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me being me, I spent the time sharing the gospel with him, right? And he got to know my daughter a bit because she was there with me.
Right.
And we shared a few chuckles as well because, at a baby shower, you have little competitions. And there is some, I'm not going to say who, but there is someone trying to beat everybody, trying to look real macho in front of all. And so he tried to be all macho by beating my daughter at a competition, my 11-year-old at the time daughter at a competition. And he lost, right? So I go back and I sit down, and that's when Alfred, we start kind of like doing little jokes back and forth, And then not too long after that is I think you brought up about bringing back the rest. Well, first it was just supposed to be the dads, since Alfred's a dad.
Yeah.
I'm a dad. You're a dad.
Yeah.
We're gonna have like a dad show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And but it slowly morphed into a video podcasting.
Yeah.
But WWE kept shutting down the video. Remember? Like
we recorded the WCW. It was the Hulk Hogan.
Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, Halloween Havoc.
Where
they kept shutting you down. You sped it up. You slowed it down. You added music.
I tried everything to get around the copyright from
Alfred was
WWE.
here, he would have said, "Oh, aroused, huh?"
But I remember we had a lot of fun because just that review, right?
Yeah.
And so we just continued with the podcast. Hey, let's keep going. And
Papi Knows Best was what he called it.
Yeah.
Papi Knows Best.
And then we needed music.
Yeah.
And I believe you and Alfred were so excited about the music. You gotta hear it. So I heard it. And for some reason, I got this idea. And I think this is when we really bonded like a real good unit, us three.
Yeah.
Was in these laughs. Like, I get these dumb ideas, right? That I do, and I laugh at myself. Like, just these stupid ideas. One was a wrestling character, and I actually pulled it off. I did it. It's not that I pulled it off, but I did it. It wasn't liked.
Right.
But I did this whole character called El Tortillero, where he's a deaf mute, and he communicates by claps. And also, later on, he communicated through a Michael Jackson doll, 1986 Michael Jackson doll. And that's the only way he could talk, through the doll. So I did this at a wrestling show where so I grabbed the microphone, right? Hi, I'm Michael Jackson. And I was supposed to say, and I'm El Tortillero's manager, right?
Yeah.
But the whole time I had the microphone to Michael Jackson's mouth, so no one could hear it except me and the promoter who was playing the interviewer.
Right.
So he's just like, he's just looking at us like, laugh. Well, he starts laughing eventually.
Right.
The people don't know what the heck is going on.
I'd be like, can I get my $5 back, please?
And so I just wrestled. Right? I wrestled this match, and he's interviewing me. Now the match was awful,
Right.
Because I was taught a certain way. I did everything backwards.
I was supposed the match would be awful with El Tortillero and Michael Jackson as his manager.
And it's a doll.
Is it a doll?
Yeah.
Is it the one that came out in the toy review?
Yes.
The Thriller Michael Jackson.
Yes, yeah. His pants keep falling off too because the Velcro on the back doesn't work no more. So, I'm doing this thing. I think Alfred would just be like looking at me like, "What? Oh,
he'd be trying to figure out
what's going on."
Yeah, I think he would have.
What kind of disorder does he have?
He would have made at least 3 jokes by now. But go ahead.
And so, well, these ideas. See, that's me doing this by myself, right?
Yeah.
These crazy ideas I get. So I got this stupid, crazy idea. Hey, why don't we dance to the music and do the intro?
Yeah.
And I thought we would get a chuckle and you guys would drop it. And my idea was, I'm going to keep bringing it up, but not really, because I know these guys aren't going to be down with it.
Yeah.
Long behold, you guys are down with it. Yeah. And then there's Alfred brings up like, oh, no, you could do this. You got to do this. Because Alfred wanted to do the shimmy.
I couldn't figure out what dance. I couldn't figure out the dance. I just was like, what do I do? What do I do? Because I was like, I don't really dance. And he's like, oh, you got to do, why don't you do the Nikki Bella twirl? And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, do the Nikki Bella. And I'm like, and he's like, try it once. And then after I did, he's like, oh, that's it right there. Little did I know he'd throw it, he'd rub it in all the time. Say, do it again.
And it was kind of surreal. Yeah. Like sometimes we do it, record it.
Yeah.
And we were so serious until I pressed play and we started. So
I don't even know how we got through the podcast that day.
And Alfred, I remember.
That was our most watched YouTube video. I think Facebook and Instagram video. Yeah. I got so many messages saying like, "Oh, I like your Nikki Bella." I can't get that out of my. I think Alfred told me that too. He's like, "Now I can't stop envisioning that Nikki Bella twirl."
It was man. It was good times.
Yeah,
good times. Good times.
It was. Yeah, you guys and your Hulk Hogan Macho Man argument was probably the best. He hated Hogan. I really didn't think, I thought I knew he liked Macho Man, but I didn't know he loved Macho Man until I talked to his brother. And his brother told me, he just kept saying, yeah, he had a Macho Man this, Macho Man that. He would watch Saturday Night's Main Event, Macho Man, Macho Man, Macho Man. I'm like, wow, I knew he liked him, and I thought maybe because of the show.
Yeah, because we do that. I mean, look, I'm not sure I totally agree with Macho Man being the best champion.
Of course, Daniel Bryan is.
Yeah, it's very arguable, right? But I agreed that Macho Man was a way better worker than Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
But for the show, you put on sort of just to make it, it's something that we do here in the show business, right?
Yeah.
Where you just put on a bit of an act, or you amp it up, you pull it up. If the level goes up to 10, you go up to 11.
Yeah.
Just to make it more entertaining for the fans watching or the fans listening. So I thought as well that Alfred's just saying, "Oh, I love Macho Man," and then once we press stop, he's all right.
Yeah. Nope, but he never did that. He was Macho Man
all the way.
All the way. So if you ever watch Macho Man on the WWE Network, or you see any of his clips again, you got to think of Lord Alfred Shakes and his love for Macho Man, Randy Savage. And I didn't know all that until I knew he liked him, but I just was not aware that, his love for Macho Man was like my love for Daniel Bryan.
And I don't want to... I'm not trying to put myself over with this, but that keychain, the Macho Man keychain, I got him the Macho Man keychain.
Oh, it was he. Oh,
but I needed to say it because you should have seen the look in his face.
Yeah.
From such a little, it was like a little Funko Pop.
Yeah.
But a little tiny one. It was it was just a little tiny Funko Pop.
And
I wrapped it
like
up.
an inch, 2 inches.
Yeah. And so I got it from him, and he was like, "Oh, cool. Oh, thanks." Right? I mean, it looked very like small. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
It looks like there's a ring in there. I hope he's not proposing to me, right? So when he opens it up, oh wow! Like, cause he wasn't feeling too good that day either. It was about 2 weeks before he passed.
Yeah.
So he was in a lot of pain that day.
Yeah.
And that brightened him up so much. And I thought, wow.
Yeah.
I honestly thought, like, I just want to get him at least a little something.
Yeah.
A little something.
Yeah.
And I knew he would appreciate it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much he would actually like it. Where when his mom came to visit him, that's the first thing he said. Look, Ma!
Yeah, right before I left the hospital, because I think I went later that day or the next day, and he's like, look, did you see the Macho Man? And I'm like, yeah. I go, still Daniel Bryan's better, but I go, I'll let you have it for this one. That's why I'm drinking a Pepsi today, because he would always have a soda
With him.
on the podcast. But I did, it is a three-man show, and Alfred would have wanted the show to keep going. Even when he was in the hospital, he wanted the show to keep going. So I kept telling him, I go, don't worry. I'll give Hector a microphone, me a microphone, you a microphone. Let's do it from here.
Yeah.
I think he almost went for it like 3 times.
You are now listening to the Wrestling Guy.